Hey, what's up everyone? Jamie here, and it's What the Tech Wednesday, where we talk about the latest in consumer technology, computers, mobile phones, the internet, web apps, and everything in between. We've got lots going on here today with a nice mix of different stories here, so let's get right into it. The links to all of the videos featured here are in the description below. Alright, let's start off with some news about Microsoft Office, and in particular, Microsoft Office 365. Well, it looks like they're retiring the name Office 365 with the introduction of Microsoft 365. I know it's a huge difference. Before it was Office 365 and now it's Microsoft 365. Well, it's an upgraded family and personal plan setup they've got now with new features, and these are coming in a few months with PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, Editor, and more. Francesco from his Keep Productive YouTube channel has some info for us.
Hello folks, welcome back to the Keep Productive YouTube channel. Now some news. If you don't know it yet, today is a day that Microsoft go from Office 365 to Microsoft 365. And what I want to do today is just sort of outline what that means and also share with you some of their plans and changes to their new Microsoft 365 personal and family plans and some of the new features that you will be getting in that and those plans. So without further ado, guys, let's dive into today's video. So folks, on March the 30th, Microsoft announced that Microsoft were changing Office 365 to Microsoft 365. And I can imagine this is an effort to sort of centralize programs and make things less complicated. But this is rolling out today on the 21st of April. So they have also introduced new Microsoft 365 personal and family plans in an effort to sort of get this sort of nice balance between work and life. I think they're definitely seeing a sort of big movement in this space and a lot of people using their software. And apparently this Microsoft 365 update is because more than 38 million people subscribe to Office 365 and naturally get access to the application. So it's going to roll out across the next couple of weeks and next couple of months, apparently. So they are adding a few additions to the lineup. One thing we've covered here on the channel before is the Microsoft Editor. This is a Grammarly competitor that allows you to essentially make spelling and grammar and conciseness and formality modifications inside of your Word. It's also a Chrome extension as well as an application that will be a part of the personal and family plans. So you'll get much more with that. Now the second thing is they are upgrading the PowerPoint. Apparently you can become a better editor in PowerPoint by using this rehearsing feature, which allows you, I think it uses AI. It's like a presentation coach that basically adjusts or recommends that you adjust your pitch, speech refinement. Very impressive, actually, and even giving you grammar suggestions and improvements to better phrase your speech, which is fairly cool. A very interesting sort of new feature. And that's not just the only thing that Microsoft are doing with their PowerPoint. They've got this new feature called Creativity, which will be available in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. But the Design Ideas feature essentially improves the way that your PowerPoints are set up, giving you recommendations. I think they're probably adding this feature because a lot of people are looking at applications that are coming soon, like Pitch, which is a new sort of PowerPoint style application, which actually is developed by the chaps who developed Wunderlist. So very, very interesting, and that will be available through Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And talking of Excel, they apparently have a new seamless way to manage finances or money in Excel with an integration that connects with bank accounts, credit cards. Apparently this is powered by Plaid. Not heard of those before, but you can upgrade your finances there. I know a lot of families tend to do this and actually have money sort of set up and organized with their family in Excel spreadsheets. They don't necessarily use like a specific tool for it, but they just go to Excel because it's their solution. So you can get the checking and credit accounts, investments and credit other credit accounts, all inside of this application, so you can connect them all up, which is pretty cool.
Fetch the data for me. And there we go. On the right-hand side, you see that Fidelity has just been added in. And on the left-hand side, all my line-by-line updates across now all of the accounts that I have in here. I love the simplicity of this tool, of being able to manage everything kind of all in one across my cards, my banks, and my accounts, helping me to relieve some of that mental load of keeping track across multiple accounts. Money in Excel also generates a personal monthly snapshot for me right here.
And that's not, again, more Excel coming at you. They've added essentially exploring subjects in detail with data types and smart templates. So for example, if you just say like track your food and you put 2 pancakes in there, and you want to be able to see like data on like the calories and things like that, it's got more Wolfram Alpha data being added, and it looks a little bit sort of like they're trying to take on Notion with this, adding this context, but you can see what I mean by the sort of visuals. But that is going to be quite exciting, and apparently it can access anything from data types, images, facts, and stocks and geography, which seems very interesting. And turning our heads to Outlook, Outlook actually apparently is getting a bit of an upgrade in terms of in Outlook Calendar. They're looking to get you to weave your work and personal calendars together.
Us stay on top of our days. With the new Outlook Calendar features, I can actually add my personal account right here. I've previously connected my Gmail account, and with a quick toggle switch, I can include my personal events in my availability. And what this does is allow my coworkers to see my personal commitments as blocked time, allowing us to find mutual calendar availability and potentially avoid conflicts.
This has probably been a problem a long time. And obviously a while ago, Outlook bought Sunrise. So obviously they have that technology in there. But essentially, they're trying to bring and weave together plans inside of that. So you'll be able to connect up personal calendars soon. And I think I talked about it a bit before about Skype and Microsoft Teams. You soon will be able to call Skype accounts via Microsoft Teams. So if you're at work and you want to be able to connect with your family, you can do so. And apparently the new Teams application will weave in a lot of the family stitching so that you can keep communicating with your family.
Account here. Nadia and her family are planning a family reunion later this year. At this point, it looks like what you'd expect from a standard chat app. But let me show you how Teams is different, and let me show you how Teams is helping Nadia and her family plan for this reunion. I want to introduce you to the dashboard up here at the top right. This is a collection of all the important pieces you'd want at a moment's notice within your group: upcoming events, shared locations, files, and the like. In the chat, you may have noticed that Maya had asked for her family's frequent flyer miles. It's located right here in the safe, where Nadia also keeps important passwords, account information, and rewards numbers. We've also made it incredibly easy to be able to share those things with your group. Inside the safe, all the data is stored under 2-factor authentication and end-to-end encryption, so it doesn't give you any worry. This chat also has a shared group calendar. Everyone can easily edit important events, such as flight times and dinners, and then it gives you the ability to see how busy the week is.
Now, one of the biggest updates that they had was something around protecting your family. So Microsoft Family Safety essentially allows you to protect them in the physical and the digital worlds. Essentially, you can have and see all of your family, how they spent their screen time today, whether that's on like Xbox, on Windows, on certain games, on Android, and apparently that is going to help families become a bit more stricter on where they spend the time in as a family. So apparently this new mobile experience is coming to iOS and Android for MS365 subscribers, and obviously that would be incredibly valuable for those personal and family plans.
And with this information, they can sit down and have a conversation about, what is the proper amount of time to be spending on this device, and how can they help them develop healthier digital habits. And they both agree that they can set a guideline on one of his favorite entertainment apps, and when Elliot selects this app, he can set an app limit that will go across all of his son's devices. And he can choose to set this for a specific time of day, or even a different limit depending on if it's a weekday versus a weekend.
While the popularity of the video conferencing service Zoom has skyrocketed since the outbreak of the coronavirus, recent news of its many security and privacy issues might have you feeling nervous about using it. Let's look at 3 free alternatives you should try instead.
Welcome to Quick Fix, the show where I answer your most commonly asked tech questions in 90 seconds or less. Today, we're remembering to mute ourselves when not talking on the video call. Kevin, start the clock. Zoom has become synonymous with these pandemic times. People are using the video conferencing service to connect with everyone from coworkers to friends to family. But if the recent news about Zoom's security and privacy issues has you a little nervous about using it, there are some free alternatives you can try. Discord is my favorite alternative to Zoom. If you've used Slack or Microsoft Teams, then the interface will be pretty familiar. You can create different channels for different projects, and the best part is audio and video chats are built right in. You can even share your screen for presentations. I've been using Discord for years, and it's been a great way to keep in touch with friends during quarantine. Skype is another free alternative, and one that's been around forever. Its new Meet Now feature supports up to 50 people on a video call, and they don't even need a Skype account to join. That might be especially useful for your parents who, for the life of them, cannot figure out how to download an app. And finally, Cisco WebEx is another free option, more for the professional side of things. It supports document sharing and screen sharing, and normally up to 50 people can be on a 40-minute call for free. But during the pandemic, those restrictions have been lifted temporarily, and up to 100 people can be on a call for an unlimited amount of time. It's a great free option for small businesses or medium-sized teams.
And finally this week, self-driving cars are coming, and it's just like the internal combustion engine automobile paving the way for the end of horse-drawn carriages. We're already seeing self-driving transport trucks in action, and cars are soon to follow. Let's let the folks at GCF Learn Free show us some of the ways self-driving cars could transform our lives in the near future, impacting jobs, traffic, car ownership, and much more.
As self-driving cars grow towards becoming a more realistic mode of transportation, there are a lot of exciting new possibilities they can bring. However, they may also come with a few downsides as well. Let's take a look at some of the different pros and cons. Pro: generally reducing accidents and congestion. Most accidents on the road are due to some form of human error, whether it's distraction, impaired driving, or poor decision-making. Self-driving cars will have faster reaction times, as well as the ability to communicate with other self-driving cars, which could help them to avoid accidents and even reduce traffic jams. Con: even with lower odds, accidents can still happen due to technology malfunctions or humans driving other cars. And if accidents do happen, who would be at fault? The manufacturer or the car's owner? Pro: self-driving cars have the potential to completely change our commutes. Since there's no actual driving required, you could use this time to work on the go, incorporating your commute into your workday. But if that's not an option, or if your commute is particularly long, you could use that time to watch TV shows, check social media, or even sleep. Con: as with many other emerging technologies, they're going to eliminate some jobs. It's predicted that millions of professional driving jobs will be wiped out, including both truck and taxi driving. It's also possible that related fields like car insurance and auto repair could be affected. Even though new jobs will emerge during this transition, it could prove to be a difficult time for many. Pro: parking will be less of an inconvenience. Whether you're in a busy parking lot or looking for a spot downtown, your car has the potential to drop you off and then go find a parking spot on its own. Or maybe even just circle the block while you run a quick errand. Con: self-driving cars are going to be pretty expensive. Hardware, like cameras and sensors, and the software required to process the incoming data could make things fairly pricey. After their release, the prices may come down, but they may still be more expensive than traditional cars. This may mean that car ownership decreases in the future, with people opting to rent self-driving cars only when they need them. Owning a car might even become obsolete. The future's uncertain, but whether we like it or not, the rise of driverless cars is bound to transform transportation in one way or another.
That's it for this week's What the Tech Wednesday. If you have any questions you'd like us to answer in an upcoming video, drop one down in the comments below. Stay safe, everyone, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another What the Tech Wednesday.